Good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. My name is Danny Munoz, Body Weld Fit Repair Group Leader and QCC Advisor. I'm very excited to share our QCC with you today. Very proud of my team's activity, very proud of their development, as well as what they accomplished through their teamwork. The name of our circle is Call It Like It Is. Our safety commitment is we'll announce our presence when conducting go and see activities on the floor. At this point, I'll hand it over to Ralph Hernandez, our QCC leader, who will introduce the rest of the team.
Thank you, Danny. Good afternoon. My name is Ralph Hernandez. I've been with Toyota for 11 years. I'm currently the Fit Repair team leader on Final 4 for Assembly Body Weld. Our circle originated because team members in their end-of-line process were having issues. So my team and I got together, completed the SAFE-3, and I'd like to share our story with you. Our circle consists of members: Ralph Hernandez, circle leader; Jared Rodriguez, team leader; Natividad Mendiola, scribe; Rene Hernandez, gatekeeper; Edgar Espinosa, timekeeper; Carlos Vasquez, note taker; Valdemar Belmades, circle member; and Daniel Munoz, our advisor. So upon meeting with my team, this is our first circle together, and I had realized that they did circles in the past. So on our level assessment chart, we went ahead and graphed ourselves, and we're in between the C and D zone at about the 2.5 mark. So our team selection matrix, which consists of a point system, they consist of: will it make the work easier? Vested interest, how many team members are impacted? Can we solve it by ourselves? Can we complete it in time? What will happen if the problem is not solved? And what will be the benefits of the team? So our first proposed theme is eliminate no good calls from QI-AIFI team members. That's 4 to 26. Reduce weld offlines. That's 4 to 24. And create a training dojo for new team members to learn PDR. PDR meaning paintless dent repair. That's 4 to 18. So ultimately, we went with our highest total points, which is eliminate no good calls from QI-AIFI team members. So step 1, clarifying the problem. So background. For the month of March, QI input 66 surface defects that were part okayed by Weld. Part okayed meaning incorrect calls. So our ultimate goal is to increase quality and productivity utilizing Kaizen activities. Our current situation, 66 callouts for Weld. Our ideal situation is 0 Weld callouts, which leaves us with a gap of 66. Now our impact statement, if this problem was not targeted, we would have gradually seen it increase, which would have been an impact to our ocean quality KPI for our shop. Now step 2, break down the problem. 66 callouts. 1 bent meaning a creased or folded over panel. 8 bumps, 23 distortions, and 34 dents. What cap type? We had 13 Tacoma and 23 Tundra. Where on the Tundra? We had 8 on the left hand, 13 on the right hand. Where on the right hand? 3 on the number 1 door, 10 on the number 2 door. What was the grid location? 1 RB20, 2 RB21, 3 RA20, and 4 RA21, which was our prioritized problem. Here we have a picture of where the grid location is. It's right above the right hand number 2 door. Now through Genshik and Butsu, which is our go and see activities, we reviewed QI standardized work for their processes, and we did process observations. Now the life cycle of the vehicle, truck goes in QI pitch, QI identifies defect, QI inputs a defect in ICE, Weld team member inspects defect, Weld team member repairs or part okays defect in ICE, QI confirms defect in ICE. So our point of occurrence was QI identifies defect. Now our prioritized problem at point of occurrence, Weld part okayed 4 RA21 dents called out by QI. At this time, I'd like to give the floor to Nat.
Thank you, Ralph. My name is Nat Mendiola. I've been working on site for 14 years. Decided to join the team here back in July of 2020. So I'm going to go ahead and cover the following step, which is step 3, set a target. So our target is to reduce 4 RA21 part of paint dents to 0 by June 1st, 2021. This pretty much explains the bar graph you see here down to the left. Give 4 caught up down to 0, resulting to 100% reduction. Now by doing that, for a total reduction, we would be eliminating 4 callouts for an overall impact to gap of 6%, going from 66 total callouts down to 62. We'll go ahead and leave it to Renee. Thank you.
Thank you, Nat. My name is Rene Hernandez. I've been with the company for 10 years, and this will be my fourth quality circle. Today, I'm going to go over step 4, analyze the root cause for 4 RA21 dents. First, we have man. QI team member was following standardized work. And how do we know this? It was verified by the fundamental skills trainer. Next, we have machine. There are no machines in process. No machines are required in surface process. Next, we have material. All material was in good condition. Next, we have environment. There was no change in the environment. Our team went with the method. Why? QI team member is calling out defects incorrectly. Why? QI team member misidentifies paint defect or weld defect. Why? Team member not trained on paint defects. Why? Paint defects are not required on QI fundamental skills. So with that being said, QI paint defects are not required on QI fundamental skills. Therefore, team member not trained on paint defects. Therefore, QI team member misidentifies paint defect for weld defect. Therefore, QI team members call out defects incorrectly. Therefore, this is the method. Our root cause, paint defects are not required on QI fundamental skills. Now I'd like to hand the floor over to Jared.
Thank you, Renee. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Jared Rodriguez. I've been with Toyota Motor Manufacturing for a little over 2 years. So right now I'm going to go ahead and go over step 5 with y'all, which is developing countermeasures. So my team and I proposed 3 different countermeasures, and we graded them in 5 different categories: cost, effectiveness, feasibility, durability, and influence. And we graded them on a point-based system and used X, triangle, or circle to determine which one we utilize to go forward. So for the first countermeasure, send QI team members to paint to identify paint defects. This scored a 17, resulting in a triangle judgment. So moving right along, grade defect training module on computer. This resulted in 19 and a triangle judgment. So finally, the third countermeasure, let's create a panel that has paint defects on it. This scored a 23, resulting in a circle judgment, so we decided to move forward with that one. Now, in order to implement this, we created an activity chart, and we used the PDCA method, which is plan, do, check, and act. So for step 1, plan, talk to QI team needs to get them on board with the idea. Had we not gotten QI on board with our QCC, there's no way that we would have been able to move forward with this project. So in step 2, plan again, talk with paint team members to have them grade defects on panel. Again, another form of communication. If we didn't have this with paint, if we didn't have the communication with paint's team, we would not have been able to move forward with this project. So we're very appreciative of their support. Step 3 is do, implement panel line size so QI surface team members can utilize. Step 4 is check, have QI team members utilize panel for reference on defects. Step 5 is check again, give QI team members feedback on the panel, which I do have an email for, and I'll show you all that in a second. And then step 6 is act, monitor data to see if panel is successful. So moving on to step 6, see countermeasures. QI team members informed and trained on panel with paint defects, and then panel implemented line side for team member reference. I don't know if y'all can see this, but we do have a couple of seeds, slick spots, sand steps, and then our big hitter is the run sag. If you look at the run sag, it can look like a distortion, or it can even look like a dent or a bump. Now, as for the email feedback, we got this from Val, QI's team leader. This was in reference to both shifts giving us feedback for the new panel. So here's what he responded with. Yes, I have, from both shifts, thanking us for clarifying a long-lasting misunderstanding of non-standardized defects. Thank you, gentlemen, for your activity in providing QI with this board. So this time I'd like to give the floor to Val.
Thank you, Jerry. Good afternoon. My name is Valdemar Gomars. I am an AIFI QI Surface Team Leader. I've been with Toyota 11 years, and I've been a certified QI Fundamental Skills Trainer for 7 years. So today I'll be covering step 7 and step 8. So for step 7, monitoring both results and processes. In March, we had 66 Weld part okays, and in May, we were able to bring that down to 56, which was an overall 15% reduction. And then for our A21, we had 2. We're going to bring that down to 0. For step number 8, I was able to get with both shifts. I did split shift training, both red and white, to train them on our QI AIFI non-standard surface defects. I was also able to create our record retention, showing that I've trained both surface team members. Moving forward, we'd like to yoke attend this panel to all 4 surface processes, and possibly even to our repair QI surface members as well. At this point, I'll hand it back over to Rob.
So my reflection, being a part of previous circles, this is the first time I actually was able to collaborate with different departments, quality inspection and paint. Normally it's just me working with our team, within our own department for body weld, so this was a nice change. Also with this panel, as Val said, or I'm sorry, Jared, our run sag was the biggest issue. I don't know if you can see the defect, we usually have to utilize the light, but they usually call these out for distortions, which ultimately affects our weld, DPV, and our all-ender. Now, this panel not only helps quality, but we also use it for our new team member training, so they can help identify what shop defect belongs to, and where these defects are actually being flown out from. Thank you.
So as for my reflection, this is my first time participating in a QCC. It was a good experience working alongside my coworkers on a project that would benefit the company. It not only gives us the opportunity to bring our knowledge and experience to the table to share with others, but it also gives us the ability to develop new skills. As for me, I'm able to navigate through the IT quality monitor to filter and pull data. And for that, I'd like to thank my team there for putting time aside to show me that. It's a very good activity. I see it as a cornerstone of Toyota when it comes to continuous improvement, and I definitely see myself in being more involved in QCCs down the road. Thank you.
For my personal reflection, I'd like to thank Danny and Ralph for being able to participate in this quality circle. I've been in quality circles in the past, but none have ever won or even made it this far, so this is a great experience for me. Being able to analyze the root cause gives me a better understanding of service defects on the vehicle and how to better identify them and repair them. Being a part of the team leader development program, I hope to lead my own quality circle in the near future. Thank you.
For my reflection, this is the first QCC that I've ever completed. I attended one on CS1 prior to the pandemic, but because of 2020, we weren't able to finish it. A little bit of background about myself. I've been in management for 5 years prior to joining Toyota, and I'm currently pursuing my undergrad in business management. I came from CS1 in Resource MFG, moved over to Final Line, and then in 2 weeks I'll be going to pilot to support the 780 project. So before doing this QCC, I never understood what a Kaizen was or how to implement it. I've heard the term before, but having this clarified what kind of goes on is as far as the big picture problem solving events. I always assumed engineers are the ones that dictated what problems that we were going to address and then how to come up with countermeasures to solve them. And now I have 8 steps that show me how to do so and give me an insight on how I can improve my department. And it gave me a sense of pride because me as a team member, I get an opportunity to improve my workstation, which is awesome for me. I learned how to develop a countermeasure selection matrix, grading things in 5 different categories and then creating activity charts so that I can bring those countermeasures to light. I have aspirations to move up in the company, so I'm very appreciative to Danny and Ralph for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this QCC, and I'm very anxious to see what new challenges await us and being a part of another QCC in the future. Thank you.
Well, again, I have 2 reflections. The first one, I'd like to start off with thanking Danny and Ralph and the Weld team for letting me be a part of this. This is my 12th QCC, and I've done 3 shootings. This is the first QCC where I've been part of a different department. It was very good personally, just getting to network. I appreciate that very much. From a QI standpoint, from a fundamental skills trainer standpoint, this is an activity that helps out my team very, very much. This is something that my predecessors have tried to accomplish in the past, but fell short of doing so, and I think this QCC knocked it out of the park. Thank you.
And also, with that being said, I did pull the data for June. June, we had a 46% reduction. I'm sorry, 46 total callouts. And then for July, we had 27. Granted, July was a 3-week month, but we are continuing a downward trend. So I'm looking forward to see what this month brings. As for me and my team, after this E3 was completed, we went ahead and went back to our level assessment, and we did progress fully into the C zone at the level 3 mark. Thank you guys for your time. We'll now open it up for questions.
All right, thank you, Body Weld. Great job. All right, now I turn it over to MSC members for comments and questions.
Hey guys, this is Suzanne Kazunas, and I said my safety minute a minute ago, but I don't know if y'all were online, so I'll do it again. My safety commitment is to create an environment that empowers all of us to stop calling weight during abnormality. I have one, so let me say really excellent work to be able to identify and implement the reference and the sample check and to get QI buy-in to build that into fundamental skills. I'm just wondering though, at the very beginning, how you determined that the dents weren't actually coming from body shop to be able to get you to the point of focusing in on the QI inspection method.
So with the history of that, we do tend to part okay defects that are incorrect calls in question. And in doing so, we go ahead and get with the team members and we track them quarterly and we ask, hey, why was this part okay? Was it within a spec or level 1 through 5 standard? Was this a paint call that they misidentified as a weld defect? And speaking with the team members, they said, yes, it is paint calls that they're misidentifying for weld defects. So with that being said, we would get with Val in the past and tell Val, hey, your guys are making incorrect calls. Is it possible to kind of let them know this defect was a paint defect? But at that time, Val would tell them, but maybe 4 or 5 trucks have already passed. Team members probably forgot what the defect looked like. So now when implementing this panel, they're able to identify the defect 100% of the time with whatever defect they have questions about.
All right, thank you. That's very helpful. I think that that's part of the perspective is just based where you guys are working in those pitches. You're right there online when it's going through to be able to identify that. So I appreciate that explanation. Thank you all. And I appreciate the report out and the good activity to work cross shop. So excellent work.
Thank you.
Hey, this is Kevin. I do appreciate the cross-shop activity and again, trying to help us minimize and faster root cause to where we need to assign. I guess I want to make sure that I give an opportunity for either Eric from Paint, since the defect went over there, or from Inga on the QI process to ask any questions they may have.
All righty. Thank you, Kevin. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, maybe no questions by either of those two. Anyway, thanks for, again, I think this was an interesting one for me to be able to, again, I think the cross-functional of being able to work across boundaries is that shows the efforts, and that then bridges across to Paint to make sure, again, we can quickly find the root cause and go to bring in the right shops to make sure that we can solve that back. So I appreciate your efforts and then how you incorporated even outside of your skill sets to help QI make a boundary sample or a panel where they can improve their fundamental skills. So thanks for that.
Sir.
All right. Thank you, team. Once again, great job. All right. I believe we have Chris Pettis hand out some certificates.
This is James Worlby covering this for LAO. I have the honors of giving you guys some certificates for your PCC. So overall, great report out. Thank you for representing the Weld shop and assembly. So great job overall. So for certificates, Ralph Hernandez.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations. Valdemar Dalmaris.
Yes, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Jared Rodriguez, great job.
Thank you.
Renee Hernandez. Nice job. Matt Mendiola.
Yes, sir.
Last but not least, Daniel Munoz. Thank you.